I'm your host, Sha, and you're tuned in to the Tingz Nice podcast, a hub for all things Caribbean carnival, culture, and lifestyle. While I do consider myself to be a carnival professional, I've brought some industry experts along to impart their knowledge as well. Whether you're a newbie or a long-time carnival veteran, you're guaranteed to step away with new knowledge. Let me talk to Tingz.
Hey, listeners. So we've had 6 guest episodes so far this season, and there are at least 4 more on the horizon. So shout out to me for batch recording, right? It's actually like a blessing and a curse to batch record, but it's what suits my lifestyle for the time being. So let's recap season 5 real quick. So we kicked off the year with Melissa Noel, who hosted the very first episode of season 5, and she had me on the hot seat, y'all. And then we had the team from Wallie Mas join us to talk about their mask making experiences in Jamaica and Atlanta. We had Jodi Covington from the Uber Sogo Cruise team, who also graced us with her time back in January. Then we had the lovely Tenille Clarke on the show to give us a glimpse into that publicist boss gal life. And then most recently, we had an exciting episode with Flora Nabena, a costume designer in the UK, right? So I actually posted a clip from the episode with Flora on my Instagram page, and Follow Soca decided to raise our blood pressures by reposting the clip on their page. And I was like, OMG, what is happening, right? But thankfully, folks in the comments were very agreeable with what we were talking about. So, phew. All right. So shout out to Follow Soca for keeping everyone in the Soca community always entertained and always engaged. All right. I don't know about you, but April has really been a bit of a whirlwind for me. Hence the reason you're getting this super short solo, really low-key episode right now. So what's been happening, you ask? Life, honey. Life has been happening. Baby Tingz turned 2. She turned 2 the same day that everyone was in Kingston living their best carnival life. And celebrating is actually like a really big deal, like celebrating birthdays. But I honestly wasn't in the mood for hosting humans. So instead of like overexerting ourselves with party prep, we just took her to the science center, and sis had a blast up in the people them place. Okay, it was great. She was very engaged. She got to run on with a bunch of kids. We went to the butterfly exhibit. It was really cool. And then on top of, family stuff, like work has been off the charts, as we're like wrapping up one school year while simultaneously like beginning preparations for another school year. And yes, if you didn't already know, like I have a whole career in addition to this Tingz Nights platform. And other than that, it's just been like wrench after wrench getting thrown in to shake ish up a bit, right? And making life exciting. And I say that with the purest sarcasm, in case you were not able to tell. And can we take a moment to talk about this Vincy Mas planning? I mean, it has honestly come down to like, it's come to a slowdown for me. It has been the complete opposite of my experience when I was planning for Antigua Carnival last year. Like, I mean, these people are dropping fetes regularly, right? Left and right, and expecting me to invest this far in advance. I'm just like, it's not happening. Like, I bought 2 tickets like 2 months ago around the same time that I finally chose a costume for Vincy Mas. And I'm just like, I refuse to buy anything else right now because my veteran spirit is telling me that it's not necessary. Okay. And even if said fetes, right, end up being the greatest things ever and I miss out, then so be it. All right. Oh yeah. If you see how intense this fet list is, like multiple fetes a day. And I'm hearing that some of the events are coming out of hiding since the pandemic. So fetes that didn't happen last year are now resurfacing. So in my mind, there really is no need to rush And I just feel like no matter which fetes I go to, like a blast will be had. That I just know. So I'm just following my 40-plus-year-old spirit now and forevermore. Shout out to my Instagram series that I've been doing, Fetting Over 40. Like it's a thing. Okay. So Sha, will not be overdoing it. Okay. About doing it. Nope. So back on track. Let's talk about this podcast, right? So even though I haven't blessed you with a real guest episode this month, I have been very busy on my YouTube channel dropping viewing parties for many of the overseas carnival band launches that have been taking place. But I do promise that I will be back with more episodes. with more guest episodes in early May after my travels. So where am I going? I'm glad you asked. So I will be heading to Miami next weekend to participate in the Carnival Expo and Showcase of the bands hosted by the Carnival Band Leaders Association. It is set to be a weekend filled with carnival fun and information. So some of the events are like the DJ symposium and the workshop, costume design workshops. There are a number of panel discussions. There are designer competitions, and there are even events for the little people. So if you're interested, if you live in the area, or if you don't mind hopping over and taking a flight, definitely head over to the sfcbla.org website, which stands for South Florida Carnival Band Leader Association, right? Head on over there to register for one of the events or all of the events. Just go to the whole thing. I will be there. So I've actually been doing my band launch reviews on YouTube, and I'm really excited to see some of these Miami Carnival costumes in person. And then as I was thinking about this, I'm like, you know what? I've never attended a live band launch. So this is actually going to be pretty cool. So I'm going to put that on my bucket list actually for different countries to see where I can, as long as bands notify us within a reasonable amount of time. I think Trinidad is kind of really good at announcing when their band launches are going to be. So maybe I'll go to Trinidad for band launch season for one of these bands, and we'll see what happens. Another thing on my bucket list is volunteering at a mass camp this summer. So if you have any recommendations, holla at your girl. I'm considering where I could go, and I'm really looking forward to it because I just have an itchy glue gun trigger finger and I'm ready to use it. All right. So in terms of this Miami trip, you know that I'm going to post about everything, so definitely keep an eye out. I will be vlogging the entire trip and my stay, so make sure that you are plugged into my Instagram stories. And then while I'm out there, I'm just going to see who all I can gather up to make an appearance on the podcast. But I do know that the remaining lineup for the season is set, right? Again, because I've batch recorded. So these interviews that you're about to hear in the upcoming months, I recorded those a while back. So we do have Rory from Playmass app, which will likely be the next episode that drops. We have Teisha, better known as Carnival Bae. We have Mikaela from Style and Vibes podcast. And then we have some very fun and unorthodox conversations about Carnival with some of my favorite people and Carnival veterans. So stay tuned. This was just a quick update to let you know that I was still around, and I did not neglect you, that you are still on top of my mind, and this podcast is still here. So we've got many more episodes to come, and again, be on the lookout for my content because it's out there. So whether you're on YouTube or on Instagram or on your favorite listening platform for the podcast, I'm here. All right. Later.